Now, going on to the culture part of the podcast, you have Budweiser. They tweeted a personality picture, and oddly enough, it was a picture of a horse and not Dylan Mulvaney. Many were shocked, but of course, it was still viciously roasted, or as the youth might say, ratioed on the Twitter sphere. And it looks like within 9 hours, the tweet got a mere 6,332 views and 107 likes, presumably from the 107 people who still work there. Well, I'm kidding. I know they have more in place than that. Maybe 200 now? I know, I'm kidding. Partially. Let's just say they've had to do some layoffs due to their business blunder of the century by hiring Dylan Mulvaney. Again, someone who has an average user on TikTok of 15 years old. That's Dylan's audience. And, of course, yeah, it makes sense. Probably not a great brand ambassador for beer, which, of course, many people might claim Bud Light is so diluted and so poor quality you wouldn't consider it a beer. But it legally is considered a beer. In the United States, you have to be 21 to purchase alcohol. Now, interestingly enough, you look at the tweet, and they haven't censored as much as I thought they would. And even more unusual, there seem to be one or two real comments, dare I say. We will do some investigating right now. For example, the first comment says, "Yes, still drinking Bud Draft at a local bar." This from someone called Yacone Franco. And 2 people apparently liked that comment. Of the 191 people who viewed it. Seems suspicious, so let's do some investigating. Mr. Guillaume Franco has 5 followers on the Twitter. Alright. Looks like he joined September 2022. And in terms of his activity, he's replied to that. And the Bud Light sweepstakes. Something called Burning Man, so we could probably guess his political affiliation. And what the ruddy pictures of him? The pronouns are not listed, so I don't think YouTube can cancel this if I'm wrong. But I'm making an educated guess. Nevertheless, it looks like this person is a hippie in terms of they literally have a psychedelic, I don't know, what was that stupid band my parents used to listen to? The Grateful Dead t-shirt, presumably smiling and holding a Budweiser in a aluminum bottle. So this person does look real. Even more shocking, some of these thoughts, well, not educated, but they are real thoughts. I can't help but notice this person, I look at all their activity and it's all Grateful Dead and Budweiser pictures and repost. So this person is real, albeit kind of cliche, but the person is real. Now, of course, let's see the other options. We have someone by the name of David Archer saying, "I think Dylan likes the horses." That person got 9 likes and out of 139 views. Now we do have our recurring feature, Mr. Rich Mooney, with the analytics, and I appreciate his post especially. Now, he responded to the Budweiser tweet, and he said, quote, "Does the fact that next month's Phoenix Pride Festival presented by Bud Light features drag shows for children and anti-Catholic Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence affect your beer choice?" Unquote. And his poll, based on 35 votes, and the options being, "That's Bud Light for me," or "No Bud for me." Looks like they came in at 85.7% no Anheuser-Busch InBev product for me. Which is interesting enough, based on the poll, he's asking, the fact that they're doing this Pride show with drag shows for kids. 14.3% of people who voted said they would buy a Budweiser product because they're sponsoring drag shows for children. I can't fathom what the logic is behind that opinion, but concerned to say the least. Definitely maybe warrant some investigations by agencies. Now, we also have someone by the name of Stephen Joseph saying, "Does anyone still drink Budweiser? Not hating, I just don't see him anymore." This person got 7 likes and 227 views. Not too shabby. And looks like most of the comments, another one saying by the name of Tango Charlie, this person says, "Pff." So, PFFFT. By Yangling, it's an American beer. This person got 5 likes out of 80 views. And most of the other replies are gifts. Mr. GH, which is quite a concise name, I'll give him that. GH says, quote, "No, here is your personality pic," unquote. And that is a picture of Dylan Mulvaney wearing a crop top, painted fingernails, short shorts, and the text is Dylan speaking, saying, "Normalize the bulge," which refers to the, again, earmuffs if you have children listening, refers to the crotch, and Dylan identifying as a trans woman. So Dylan was born a man, but was wearing the clothing of a woman, and the normalization of the bulge implying you could still have your junk and be a woman. I need to buy more dictionaries, or the Urban Dictionary needs to update for all these fascinating cultural phenomenons. So you actually make, well, some people say it's not supposed to make sense by just the nature of it, but it's hard to articulate what's going on in some of these GIFs and pictures. So let's see here. Oh, of course they hid stuff that's offensive. So of course, leaning into the censorship, as always, Budweiser. You have someone who took the old picture of the Budweiser when they used to have, good, smart advertising people. One was with the 3 frogs, and it was infamous. I mean, people love the commercial where you had the 3 frogs, and they kind of croak and they say Budweiser. And this person actually just photoshopped, or they changed the text, so instead of saying Budweiser, it says, again, earmuffs for the children, but F-er. Some would say hilarious and accurate. Another person with their freedom and their text being censored, someone took the Bud Light can and they photoshopped the top so it says transmission fluid. Again, trying to, I guess, insinuating the new core audience or attempted core customer base. So they tried to tweet. They made the attempt. You gotta give them that. Budweiser did attempt to tweet, or in this case, I guess nowadays you call it post on the X. From a marketing perspective, just doesn't sound as hip as the youth might say. And it's even just a picture of horses. It looks like more of a vintage one, horses in a bud. But needless to say, that horse, the leg is broken, and I believe they might have to take it out behind the barn and put him down. Unfortunately, it's one of those things where the horse was prancing around, the horse dug a hole and then presumably ran into the hole. Perhaps an apt metaphor for the whole situation of the business blunder of the century, that is Bud Light. But I partially digress. Thank you again for taking the time to tune in. Again, I know it's ambitious, but we're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of September. So if you could click that subscribe button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, all of the comments help the channel grow and develop, and the feedback is much appreciated, whether it's critiquing how I can improve my speaking abilities, or it's suggesting new software where we can do picture-in-picture in real-time production, so we could incorporate some of these clips into the production of the show as well. All the feedback is greatly appreciated, and of course, leaving a like also helps with the algorithm and gets more people to tune into the show, and it helps out as well. Also, and lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.